the most satisfying build that I ever played. You can kill 2 screen away anything with a simple cast. This is what makes this build worth trying. The next Tonki League starter test subject is Blight of Contagion Occultist, and as always I was doing a solo self-found run to simulate the upcoming league start. What's up guys, Widget here. Blight of Contagion is a channeling spell that deals stacking chaos damage over time to all enemies in the area in front of you. Unlike the original skill, this transfigured version has a faster cast time and its overtime deals more damage, has a longer duration, can be spread by contagion. This spell will be our signal and clear skill at the same time. The gameplay is very straightforward and satisfying. Press contagion and channel a little bit your Blight of Contagion and watch everything just dies. If the enemy monsters close to each other, it can clear 2 screen away anything that has a health bar above its head. The reason why we choose Occultist, because this has the highest potential to deal more damage. Majority of the Ascendancy nodes associated with chaos damage. Void Beacon is just pure chaos damage increase, because it's lowering down the enemy chaos resistance, also gives us huge quality of life, nullifying the enemy health regen. Withering Presence gives more chaos damage and also gives us chaos resistance, making easy to cap our chaos resistance early on in the league start. Unholy Authority gives us additional curse and we can apply curses on hexproof enemies. The clear is just insane with this build. Sadly, there is a single drawback, and that's the low single target damage if you comparing to other league starter builds. It is very hard to scale our DoT DPS very high while maintaining the build tonkiness. So this build only shines while you want to blast maps, and not while fighting against Uber bosses or very juicy tier 17 map bosses. I just want to glance over what item I was able to get while I was playing my solo self-found run. And by the way guys, I spent like maybe 5 hours in mapping, so the gear you will see in like 5 hours of gameplay that I collected. So let's start with our event guys. So you care about spell damage, chaos overtime and damage overtime, and simple as that. And maybe if you can get your hands on +1 to all chaos skill gems, which is pretty damn strong, but obviously in solo self-found run, especially with like 5 hours of runtime. Rest of the gear is just literally, you know, giving us life and just fulfilling my resistances and my attributes for my gems, items, and so on. So it's not even worth to mention in my opinion. With this setup, I was trying to aim for hybrid bases so I can get evasion and energy shield at the same time. Currently, our evasion, by the way, it's 13k evasion that is transitioning to 64% evade chance, which is kind of okay in my opinion. And as you can see here, we have Ghost Shroud as well, so with getting back energy shield every single time when we get a hit, which is very nice on this build, because the energy shield recovery is non-existent on this build currently. So this is a very good helping for mapping. Also, I want to raise your attention. Technically, you can just play with 2 wands to increase your damage. Not too many people cares about that much, you know, the build tonkiness and so on. So if you feel like you're struggling with the damage, you can just literally equip a wand in your offhand, because by the way, I have a very nice wand as well. So let me show you quickly. So right now it's deals 28k damage, my Blight of Contagion. So now it's deals 37k. So technically speaking, you can get more damage, but as you can see here, my life is immediately lower down, my energy shield lower down as well. And now let's talk about the passive tree guys, because the passive tree is honestly, I don't think too many people is playing chaos dots at the moment, so it's kind of new as well. So there is one single problem, and that's how you can scale your damage early on and later as well with the skill tree. Because if you're noticing, you just only can take the spell damage here at the start and the Arcanist Dominion here and just travel up Acrimony, and basically that is your damage for a very long time in the leveling. So literally while you reaching this one and checking out this and this is like level 20 you already. So you spend a lot of points to just traveling and so on. So that is a kind of problem in my opinion with the chaos dots in general. And also you could say, why you not using the new node here for something like that, because that is also too far away. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point to very little increase. So it looks like big, but it's not. You noticed we taking the cost speed wheel here and the caster mastery, because honestly, the more cost speed you have, the better we are feeling, because the faster you will costing your flame dash, your contagion, and your blight, right? So you will getting 18% extra cost speed as well because of this mastery. So this is helping, I would say, quality of life and how the build is feeling. And also little mono regen is always welcome. So that's about this one. And honestly, the rest of the tree is, guys, the good old, you know, suppression here, even more suppression here, evasion mastery here for more suppression. You know me. So this build is reached 100% suppression. So already, by the way, you can see here, it's insane. So we kind of tonky as well ugly spell damage, and also overall our resistance is absolute fine. And also I want to raise your attention a single but very important detail, and that is the overcharge node. I know not many people is taking that one, but this gives you 12% chance to gain a frenzy endurance or power charge on kill. Now with the charge mastery, you getting 100% increased charge duration, so you have 20-second long frenzy, endurance, and power charges. So 2 charges is absolutely useful for us, because it gives the endurance charge is elemental damage reduction and physical damage reduction, while frenzy charge gives us cost speed, attack speed for the shield charge, and also more damage for our overall damage. This is why we was taking this, and honestly, I feel like this enables to us take in PoB the charges, literally. So 20 seconds is a very long duration in my opinion. So before you entering in the boss fight, you can just, you know, kill a bunch of monsters because you're mapping, right? And then you go into the arena and you have 20-second long frenzy charge duration on you. So that gives you a very big damage boost in my opinion. And now the Ascendancy, guys, is we was talking about earlier, but we using Void Beacon, absolutely welcomed. So it's minus chaos resistance and also reducing the enemy life regeneration by 100%. So that nullifies, for instance, the rare monster regen, the consecrated ground regen, and also Maven regen while you completing your maps or just farming Maven maps. Because honestly, guys, this build is very nice to just farm, I would say, normal content. So not Uber bosses and so on, but normal content is insane, because you have a very nice clear, you have decent single target DPS as well, and also this is reducing the enemy life regen, so it makes the build very nice in my opinion. Now the Withering Presence is, as you can see here, more damage, chaos res, and also inflict wither, but honestly we have withering step and wither totem in our setup, so it's not a big deal, that's part. But the chaos damage is welcomed, and also we're using unholy authority, so you can apply an additional curse because we're using 2 curse, despair and punishment, these 2 curse, and also we can apply 2 hexproof enemies. That is helping us especially on maps when the map is rolled hexproof on that one, so that is basically a free modifier, free bonus for us. Now let's talk about the links. As you can see here, by the way, I was able to get a 5 links, so I could say this was very lucky for me. So we're using Blight of Contagion here, Void Manipulation, Contra Distraction, Swift Application, and Infused Channeling. And in the helmet we're using Intensify Support, Arctic Armor, Contagion, and Increased Area Effect. In our shield, Despair with Punishment and Arcanist Brand. This is how we're applying the 2 curses at the same time. And also we're using Shield Charge, Grace, Flesh and Stone, and Faster Attack Support. In the gloves, Clarity, Malevolence, Flame Dash, and Withering Step. In a weapon, Spell Totem, Multiple Totem, and Wither Totem. So this is how it looks like your single target. You're putting down your brand, you're putting down your totems, and just channeling. And that's it. And sometimes you can press your withering step, and easy as that. Few words about how it looks like when you have a little bit more time to farm and you want to commit to more time with this build. So as you can see, you can technically speaking reach like almost 2 million DPS with I would say reasonable gear. By the way, the one that I have in game, let me show you guys, it's already much better than the one that I was planning to use. So technically speaking, you can get a +1 on this one as well. So it would be insane damage. So like almost 50%, 20% more damage. The rest of the gear is just as always, guys, without any sort of padding, any sort of air dish modifier, just literally just pure life, and that's it, and very reasonable jewels as well. So the damage looks like this, guys, and additionally speaking, guys, it has enabled frenzy and endurance charges in this PoB. Obviously you can just remove this one if you really want, but once again you have 20-second long duration on your frenzy charge. So if that is not enough to just reach the map boss room and kill the map boss under like a few seconds, then maybe your gear is not good enough. And honestly, the thing is, when I was saying the signal target is low, so we're talking about like a few second differences. So it's not like you will struggle, okay? So you will not like struggle with the signal targets, so you will not deal damage. It's just lower than any other league starters, but also not bad, okay? So it's decent, but not terrible. So when I saying low single target damage, keep in mind this one. Also, I padding a little bit with this one, so technically speaking 1.3 million, but once again, guys, frenzy charge can be enabled, and also after 50% you dealing very high damage. But honestly, guys, I had you will see in my PoB that I was using, was not really struggling, so I was very surprised. I was feeling like, oh my god, I dealing a very huge amount of damage, and then literally I was dealing like 400k DPS. I know it's not huge, but the DoT has a very good uptime, right? So this is literally like 6 seconds or 5 seconds long. So technically speaking, you just channeling 1 second and then you just run around. Simple as that. So you don't need to spend your time to just, attack continuously as an attack build and so on. It is the planned, I would say, PoB for now. Obviously, guys, the thing is, I will not say I will league start with this or you should league start with this, because that was just a test, and also I just put together test PoB as well to just see even if it's worth my time to even invest more after the patch notes is dropping. So currently that's the plan, and if it's getting changed in a positive way, then I can safely say I will make a league start video about this and the full build guide, with all of the leveling stuff and so on, the gear progression and so on, as always. So till then, guys, that was my Blight of Contagion Occultist league start test. I hope you enjoyed, guys, this short journey, because the tests, I will not spend too much time in these ones, because it would be led nowhere, especially if they deciding to for some reason nerf anything about this build. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/PoE2, where I'm doing my league start test runs in the next couple of days till the reverse stream. Thanks for watching. I was Pidget. See you next time.